We all know that every place you visit has its ups and downs, but no one wants to go to a place that's consistently known for being at rock bottom. Take Mississippi, for example. Their healthcare and economy are some of the worst in the nation, and they have the highest rate of car accident deaths, as we talked about in this video. But for the folks in Mississippi, I guess one great thing about being so low is the only way forward is up. Today, I'm going to tell you which states are on a downward spiral, headed straight for ultimate disaster, and why you should avoid going there at all costs. Unless, of course, you're going to help them get back on their feet, then by all means, ignore this list and safe travels. Number 10. New Jersey. Let's kick things off with the Garden State. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't New Jersey already at the bottom? Of course, if you talk to any New Yorker, they'll give it to you straight. But apparently, there's still room to sink lower. With some of the highest taxes in the nation and the cost of living that's driving people away, it's no wonder folks are feeling the blues. New Jersey's infrastructure is crumbling at an alarming rate, and businesses are struggling to stay afloat in a sea of regulations and red tape. It's fallen far from its triumphs and glory days, like hosting the very first organized baseball game in Hoboken in 1846.
Welcome, my friends, to the first ever playing of a new sport. A sport of my own devising.
In addition to all those hardships, it's still one of the more densely populated states in the country, which only serves to strain the available resources and clog those freeways like your grandma's arteries. You gotta remember that New Jersey is a major transportation thoroughfare, and millions of folks pass through and commute to New York from New Jersey, which only serves to place a heavy toll on their infrastructure. I sure wouldn't want a job at the Department of Transportation in this state. At least you can still get a decent bagel and a slice of pizza that's bigger than your head.
So a little silver lining.
I suppose, yeah.
Number 9. Nevada. The land of bright lights, big dreams, but even bigger disappointments. While the Silver State has always been known for its glitz and glamour, the cracks are starting to show. The very backbone of Nevada's economy took a major hit during the pandemic and hasn't fully recovered. It's safe to say that the tourism-driven economy here is gambling with a bad hand. With tourism numbers much lower than they would like, they're also contending with a rising tide of competing casinos in other parts of the country. I mean, Indian casinos are nothing new, but the steady proliferation of gambling across more and more states is chipping away at Vegas and Reno's appeal. If those headwinds weren't enough, Nevada's future is stuck in a perpetual drought. As part of the arid Southwest, the state faces severe water scarcity challenges every year that just keep intensifying. Last winter brought some temporary relief with heavy precipitation from the west, although that was likely a blip. Nevada will always be a desert. It is, after all, the driest state in the nation and only sees an average rainfall of 7 inches per year. Number 8. Kentucky. Now, here's a state that's famous for its bourbon, horse racing, and, well, that's pretty much it. Unless you're also including Abraham Lincoln's place of birth. But don't let the state's limited claims to fame fool you. Kentucky is facing some serious challenges, most of which don't get talked about because Kentucky is one of those states where it's not typically the worst at anything, until recently. Kentucky is now in the spotlight for one of the most embarrassing statistics, which I'll get to in a second. First, there's the economy. Let's face it, Kentucky's economy was great back in the day when coal mining was a thing, but failing to diversify after that industry decayed has only helped the state become one of the most impoverished in the nation. And now for the embarrassing fact. The Bluegrass State ranks among the most unhealthy of states, seeing as it has some of the highest obesity rates in the country. To top it all off, they are paying the price through increased healthcare costs and disabled residents. Between the dismal health indicators and lack of economic incentives, Kentucky finds itself just a couple missteps from becoming the next Mississippi. Number 7. Arkansas. Did you know that Arkansas has the only active diamond mine in the United States? It's also the only place where you can mine for your own diamonds at the Crater of Diamonds State Park. But is that enough to save the state from decline? Hardly. Poverty is high in Arkansas, and they have a lower than average median household income. Nope, Arkansas is in a vicious cycle of poverty and decline that's been spinning for generations with no clear remedies in sight. I'm not sure if they see it this way, but Arkansas seems to be actively squandering one of its most valuable resources, its future workforce. The state has abysmal educational outcomes with high dropout rates and lack of proficiency in core skills. With schools failing to develop human capital, good jobs and investments will continue to pass Arkansas by. Oh, and let's not overlook Arkansas's crime problem while we're piling on the misery. Both Little Rock and Pine Bluff rank among the most dangerous cities in America year after year, as we talked about in a previous video. Between the decaying economy and mean streets, Arkansas has some serious soul-searching ahead. Number 6. New Mexico, a state that's famous for its stunning desert landscapes, Breaking Bad filming locations, and, well, not much else. So while the land of enchantment might be lacking in the area of notable achievements, it more than makes up for it in problems. High crime rates, struggling schools, and a lack of economic opportunities are driving many residents to seek greener pastures, or at least less sandy ones. The state can't seem to overcome generational problems with crime, drugs, and outright poverty, no matter how much focus gets placed on them. You can't point to dismal education outcomes as both a symptom and a root cause. Without developing a skilled workforce, companies have zero incentive to relocate and invest in economic opportunities. But it's honestly hard to attract talent when your state has one of the lowest graduation rates in the entire nation. The state is going downhill as fast as tumbleweeds will catch you by surprise. But at least you can still enjoy some stunning sunsets and alien-themed tourist traps while you're stuck in this desert wasteland. Number 5. Illinois. I lived in Illinois for a couple of years during my childhood, which included playing Little League Baseball. So of course, I became a diehard Cubs fan, which I remain to this day. But as kids, we often don't know everything that's going on socially and politically. Little did I know the Prairie State had much bigger issues than losing the World Series year after year. With a massive pension crisis, a ticking fiscal time bomb of debt, and a population that's been steadily declining faster than my hopes in October, Illinois is most definitely spiraling. The high taxes and political corruption are like a 1-2 punch to the gut of Illinois residents and businesses, many of whom are fleeing before they crash and burn with the rest of the state. As the population decline accelerates, the state's tax base continues to dwindle, and of course, the more people and resources that bleed out, the harder it becomes to reverse the downward spiral. I guess I'll just close my eyes and imagine walking onto Wrigley Field one last time while enjoying some of the world's best deep dish pizza. Think they'll DoorDash that across state lines? Number 4. Alaska. Coming in at number 4, we've got Alaska, an epic and beautiful state with acres and acres of untouched wilderness and a freezer full of problems. Yep, Alaska is the largest state in the nation and has the fewest number of people per square mile, but its low population density really isn't a problem. I've been to Juneau, Anchorage, and Fairbanks and absolutely loved every opportunity I had to see this great state. But while the last frontier may be beautiful, it takes a special kind of person to live in this state. The biggest issue facing Alaska is its primary source of revenue, oil. Due to the fluctuations in oil, the constant changing of regulations and costs, taxes, etc., and with this being an election year, things are very uncertain, but most certainly declining for the great state of Alaska. Although you still can enjoy some stunning glaciers and midnight sun selfies while you're stuck in this frozen land. Just don't forget to bring your bear spray and 7 layers of flannel. Number 3. West Virginia. Next up, we've got West Virginia, which is basically Virginia, but just west, right? Well, not exactly. This state split off from Virginia due to the issues sharply dividing the nation during the Civil War. This significant event had lasting impacts on the politics, economy, and society. It initially saw significant growth in coal, timber, and oil. But with the decline of the coal industry and the more recent devastating opioid epidemic tearing communities apart, West Virginia has fallen on some very hard times. But I am hopeful. The people here are resilient and have started inching towards stability amid their downfall. With real estate and the cost of living being so low, there's a great chance that people from other states will start finally trickling back in over the next few years, especially from places like California as it continues to become more unaffordable. Number 2. Louisiana. While the Pelican State may be known for its good times and great cuisine, with events like Mardi Gras, it's no secret that Louisiana has come into some incredible hardships that are harder to solve than a New Orleans murder mystery. From rampant poverty to a crumbling infrastructure and environmental issues left and right, Louisiana is struggling to keep its head above water, literally and figuratively. Just when you think you have it all together and have a plan in place to go forward, a hurricane with a name you'll now hate forever will hit hard and make you start all over again. That's the story for many people, and those disasters just continue to add to the poverty levels in Louisiana. In addition to all that hardship, every major city from New Orleans to Shreveport is straight up dangerous. Yeah, Louisiana honestly doesn't have a single decent-sized city that isn't a crime-riddled wreck anymore. But look on the bright side, at least you can still enjoy some amazing food and music while you're stuck in this swamp. Just don't forget to bring your Mardi Gras beads and your sense of impending doom. Number 1. California. And finally, coming in at number 1, we've got California, where pretty much every packaged substance is known to cause cancer. I mean, come on, did you really think another state would top this wall of shame besides
California?
Setting the minimum wage to $20 an hour? While that may seem great on the surface, it's a vicious cycle that will only raise the cost of living all around. Sky-high housing costs? Check. Homelessness crisis? Check. A tax burden that's higher than Snoop Dogg on a Saturday night? Check, check, and check. Now, don't get me wrong, I lived in the Golden State for a number of years, and I love its great surf and year-round sunny beaches. There's nothing like that salty air and hot sun that just makes you come alive. After all, that's what drove thousands of people back west, along with the prospect of gold back in those early American years. But the reasons for California's decline just go on. They battle major humanitarian crisis, public transportation woes, wildfires, drought, mudslides, and earthquakes every single year. What once was the crown jewel of America has now crumbled into a hobbled, dysfunctional mess much faster than anyone could have imagined. Turning around from here will take a miracle from their leaders and citizens. Godspeed, California. You're gonna need it. Do you think your state is going downhill? Let us know why in the comments below. If you think these states are bad, just check out this video on the most dangerous countries in the world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.